Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, we're here to talk about something absolutely incredible that is, well, still happening. Recently, Capcom announced the upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds, the start of the 6th generation of these games, set to release in 2025. And it is quite exciting to ponder all of the incredible possibilities around that. But today we are not talking about Wilds, but more so the effect that its announcement has had, along with what has been labeled the Return to World event, with tons of players going back and playing Monster Hunter World and Iceborne from the beginning to experience it all once again, now that we are 6 years off of the base release of the game, which sounds like a hell of a long time, but honestly feels like it was only a few months ago, at least to me personally. And of course, Capcom themselves have dove in on this too, with official live streams and blog posts aimed at helping new players adjust and actually understand the game, which is really cool to see all coming together at the same time. But the reason this all matters is because it is working. We talked about Return to World as an event and everything about that a bit back when it was first popping off, so there's no need to go over all the details on that again, but this is essentially just a short talk I wanted to have, not even really that so much, it's just a celebration, because things are getting absolutely wild in here, pardon the pun. When we last checked in, we were gushing about the idea that Monster Hunter World had reached a point of just under 100,000 peak daily players on Steam, which is incredible at this point, especially as PC is not the most popular way the game is even played, and so having a number that high, again, 6 years after release is pretty great, but it's just sort of been snowballing and growing even since then every single day. Hell, even Asmongold is now playing Monster Hunter World, and as of this current point, we have a 138,000 player peak, a near 40% increase from when we talked about this recently. And again, that original number was already stupidly impressive. I mean, the last time that World had this many players was July of 2020. Not even the Fatalis update for Iceborne in October that same year had as many peak concurrent players as we have literally today. For context, let's look at the top games on Steam right now, just in general, alright? Well, currently, Monster Hunter World is the number 12 bestseller, which is say a lot about people full-on actually buying it recently, but even more impressive than that is when you compare the player counts of these games currently, with Monster Hunter World being literally 10th on all of Steam, which is absolutely nuts for, again, a 6-year-old RPG. Not even an MMO, just an RPG, not an infinitely replayable one-game-at-a-time shooter like Counter-Strike or Team Fortress, also on the list. And for perspective, Grand Theft Auto 5, arguably the most popular game of all time, is currently at 200k, up at number 6, so I feel like that says a hell of a lot about where we are right now with Monster Hunter World. And I just really wanted to drive home and celebrate the ridiculousness that is the fact that Monster Hunter World is kicking off again to this degree. I love World, it was my first Monster Hunter game, and seeing all these new and returning players going into new playthroughs helped me even started our own fresh run back here on the channel, and it all just reminds me of when I first started hunting personally, when I was a fresh-faced newbie who didn't realize the slinger wasn't a term for someone wearing a banana hammock, and those were just some really memorable days for me. Not to get all gushy about the past, but I just love this whole thing. I love the nostalgia it is bringing up for people. I love that people are trying weapons they never have before, especially for a full game playthrough, as doing that is a totally different experience than just picking up a new weapon in endgame, making a full set for it, and everything like that. And more than anything, I love that this is getting people to play the game who have never tried it before, especially people who have never tried the series even before. The timing is great, really. It couldn't be much better, with there being a bit of a lull in new fantasy games coming out pretty much until Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out in March. And so this specific boom of popularity and the attention that it's gotten is just getting the game back in front of people who would have maybe tried it years ago, but just forgot that it existed because they were too attached to a different game at the time or something like that. It's a revitalization of the community that existed and a second chance for people to jump on the hype train that never did before and get to experience what this game is like with a genuinely active player base for the multiplayer, even 6 years after release. I mean, don't get me wrong, it has always stayed active, but this is about 3 times what the average player base has been for the game for about 3 years, so this is definitely a unique opportunity to take advantage on if you're interested in it. And that's it really, everyone. Nothing crazy by any means, but I just wanted to give you all an update on how this has gone, because again, a 6-year-old game, which while yes is generally popular, is still a bit of a niche, and it is once again one of the top sellers at this point, one of the most currently played right now, one of the highest one-day peaks, you name it, and Monster Hunter World's name is up there at the moment, and that's just really cool to see. A win for Monster Hunter is a win for hunters, simple as that. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.